Page 148, exercise 1.9, also known as Bugle Call. In this exercise, they are introducing you to the idea of playing more than one note at a time. When the notes in the music are vertical like that, stacked on each other, it's an indication, in most cases, you play them at the same time. The finger numbers, you will see two finger numbers there, well, one for each note. So the bottom number is for the bottom note, top number is for the top note. When I say finger numbers, I usually always do the bottom note first. At the beginning of this, you see the 1, 4. Well, you have to figure out what the notes are. I do what is known as spell out the chord. There's a difference of opinion on what a chord is. I'm not going to get into it. Some people will say a chord is 3 or more notes played at the same time or close together, where you can hear 3 or more notes. Some people say it's 2 or more notes. I say it's 2 or more notes. If you want to go with 3 or more notes, that's entirely up to you, I don't care. But for my videos, 2 or more notes is a chord. So in this, the chords, you're playing 2 notes at the same time. And I spell out the chord when I'm trying to figure it out, and that means I start with the bottom note in the chord, figure it out, and then I go to the next, and I continue to go until I get all the notes in the chord. I mean, there could be 10 or more notes in a chord, who knows. So here, the bottom note in the right hand is middle C, and then the upper note is an F, and that's the chord. Now, for the technique for playing them, what I do is I put my hand in the position, in this case 1 and 4, and I lift the other fingers out of the way. I just drop the hand down so that they go down. I don't use finger muscles to try and push these down. I just relax and let the weight of the arm and the hand do it. And the wrist should give a little bit. Your wrists are never stiff when you play a piano. Let them flex a little bit. There are exceptions to that. Don't worry about them. Right now, let the wrists be flexible. So here, and then you have the 2/8 notes of those, and then you have a C and a G, and so forth. So you get the idea. Now when you get to the end, look at the last measure, the first line, that half note, where you have a B and a D. You've been in this position, you're just going to move the thumb down and catch that last half note. Like so. No biggie, I hope. In the second line, look here what we got going. We have a third finger on the A and a thumb on middle C. That's the chord. And that's fine until you get over to the last couple of measures. Look at that. You have an F. This is the next to the last measure on the second line. F. And a D. The thumb's got to go up to D. Then they want you to do a 3-1 on the G and the B. So you're going to come here, and then a 5-1 here. I think that fingering is absolutely terrible. That's terrible fingering. Can they make it any more difficult? I mean, come on. I'm going to suggest a fingering change here. Sorry, gotta do it. Just gotta do it. Go. The next to the last measure, you have a 1-5. Then for the GB, I recommend a 4-2. Because they're there, use them. And then you can do a 1-5 for the last note. You gotta bring the little finger down a little bit. But you can do that. You gotta do it sometimes, so do it. I think that's a much easier fingering than what they're suggesting. So I just take a pencil and write in the fingering underneath the G, B, make it a 4-2. So that's pretty much it for Bugle Call. 2/4 time. We're going to count 2, but we're counting quarter notes again, finally. And we got 8th notes all over the place. So we got to go a 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Life is wonderful. So go ahead and learn this. Get it so you're playing the notes, and you're playing more than one note at a time. Listen carefully, make sure they go down at the same time. And then whenever you can do that, get the rhythm in there, 1 and 2 and. And when you're ready, then come back and play it with me. We'll check the notes. When working with a metronome and you get to the extremes, either really slow or really fast, you have to adjust the metronome so it's usable, because when things get really slow, the beats are too slow to follow. It just doesn't work. Or if it's really fast, the beats are too fast to follow. It's just like, bleh. So what we do is we adjust the metronome where we're not necessarily on the beat. We might be on the half a beat, or we might be on every 2 beats or every 4 beats or something. Well, in this piece, if I put the metronome down as low as it goes, it's just too low, it's too slow to use. It's not working out. So what I've done is I put it on 70, I've sped it up. So it's like every 2 beats is 1 count. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. This way it's slow enough we can actually try this out. So just keep in mind the metronome is beating 1/8 notes, not quarter notes. So let's try this out and see what happens. The right hand is here. The left hand, when it comes in, will be here. Just be ready for it. 1 and 2 and ready and go. And 1 and 2 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 and 1 and